Open your mind and journey through the cosmos of the universe. This is Bridging Realms with Dr. Gene Carlisle and False Freedom 691.
Welcome to another edition of Bridging Realms. I am False Freedom 691.
And I'm Dr. Gene Carlisle.
Everyone, today we are going to be covering a topic that I know is very dear to Dr. Gene's heart.
This is one of the most crazy and exciting subjects in conspiracy theory today, I think.
We're, of course, talking about Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah, if you haven't gone down the Skinwalker Ranch rabbit hole, you're missing out on a huge hole in conspiracy theory culture.
Yeah, Skinwalker's been home to paranormal and extraterrestrial reports dating back since the 50s. Longer than that, in essence, because of the name itself, Skinwalker, came from the Navajo tribe, of course.
Yeah, we're going to be unpacking all of that today in this episode, so just get ready. I mean, there's so much to dive into here with the legends, coming from Skinwalker Ranch and the area, both ancient and modern.
Yeah, today we will guide you through the initial stories that guided the legend of Skinwalker Ranch up through the purchase of the ranch by Robert Bigelow and the investigation by NIDS. And then even through today, the new mysterious benefactor who have purchased the ranch under the condition that research remains ongoing.
Tons of research is going on there at the ranch, just like tons of research is going on here at Bridging Realms. We did a ton of research for this show. We researched Skinwalker Ranch. We did not get to go to the ranch itself, of course, because it is restricted. But we have investigated areas that have had similar reports, similar paranormal activity going on at these places. And so we've investigated reports similar to Skinwalker. So, it's basically the same thing.
We headed up for a nice weekend in Salt Lake. We did stop by Skinwalker first, and as the doc was saying, we were denied access.
Right, it is restricted, yeah.
Yeah, it is restricted. There is a cattle guard. You can't get past those things.
No, and there are threats. Yeah, there's threats on the cattle guards. There's signs with restricted. You can see possible places there could be hidden cameras. We're pretty good at spotting surveillance. You can see some random security trucks in certain areas. So they really do not want you going out there. So we did go up and check out Salt Lake. It's a nice city.
Yeah, so we went to Salt Lake and we did what any paranormal extraterrestrial investigator worth their salt is going to do, and we staked out the closest TGI Fridays. And guys, there are a fuck ton of TGI Fridays in Salt Lake. I'm talking, man, if you're wanting some of that conspiracy strange, some of that smoke show, you hit up Salt Lake City.
Fuck, dude, yeah. I was, goddamn amazed, but really, False is being honest here. That's exactly what fucking happened. Those smoke shows they're talking about, they were there in Salt Lake. For some reason, this guy False just gets his confidence once he's in a fucking TGI Fridays, and there were a lot of women there, and there were a lot of TGI Fridays there, like he was talking about, and I'll be honest with you, it is probably the pinnacle of TGI Fridays, probably the best overall TGI Fridays I've ever eaten at. So we did get that out of the experience.
Yeah, so the nice thing about TGI Fridays is the unlimited appetizers. So we kind of could just go TGI to TGI, meal after meal, just to hit up those Fridays and get those unlimited appetizers. It's $15. $15 for you get those unlimited appetizers and you're around those conspiracy girls, there's one or two of them every 2 or 3 restaurants. They're all over the place.
Yeah, dude, and I fucking wish, TGI Fridays would get more on board. Maybe, our listeners, if you support the pod, you should tweet at them. If you support the project, you should tweet at them, message their social media accounts, let them know they should support Bridging Realms, because we fucking support them by eating at their restaurant quite a bit. And we tried to expose some truth there. We tried to record an episode, maybe give a little presentation to some of the staff and patrons there in TGI Fridays. And that was seen as a disturbance, apparently.
Yeah.
The fucking managers did not like it.
They locked me in a bathroom stall and held me for 17 hours.
He was held, what I would say is against his will. I don't believe the managers at TGI Fridays are fucking allowed to arrest people. I don't think Fridays is their fucking jurisdiction or anything. Of course, and I had to leave. Of course, I had to get the fuck out of there. So I did come back later and pick False up. But, I'm not about to be arrested or anything like that because I heard the real police were being called. And I didn't know where False was in all the chaos. Once the uproar had gotten, once we got to past the UFO conspiracy and had gotten to explaining to a few of the tables that had gathered about the Epstein conspiracy, once we started exposing Epstein truth, people were riled up on apps. They're riled up on fucking apps and drinks from the bar. They got margs, so we've got fucking daiquiris. Yeah. Going around, and these are top shelf margs that are, have pretty decent tequila in them. So, people are getting sauced.
Oh, and your fucking Jack Russell Terrier was running wild in there.
Right. They did not like that we brought the dog in. That even though he is a service dog, and I don't give a fuck if they argue that his vest is not, up to legal standards, and I am doing air quotes there for you listeners. There may not be up to legal standards, or he may not have the, again, air quotes, proper training to be an emotional support dog, but he emotionally supports us at the Bridging Realms project. Yeah. But there was a small, maybe you could say a small riot or bar fight that kind of broke out with the Epstein talk between the Clinton side and the Trump side. Yeah. Of that argument there on who killed Jeffrey Epstein, because we definitely don't think he killed himself. They definitely, in that TGI Fridays that day, did not think he killed himself. Right. But of course, exposing that truth, that gets us kicked out of the TGI Fridays in Salt Lake City. So we did not return to that one.
Skinwalker Ranch is located near the community of Ballard, Utah, sitting on 500 acres. Before population of the United States by the Europeans, the Ute tribe forbade their members from getting on the ranch due to what they feel were curses put on the land by the Navajo. They believed that it was a fertile skinwalker ground, and if the Utes were to step on the land, they would be cursed and they would be in danger.
So we've already got a curse going on here on this land, which is something you don't really want to fuck with, I would say. So that's already not working in the favor. Explain to our listeners, False, what exactly is going on with the name Skinwalker? What is the connection there?
So the Skinwalker is a certain kind of a witch who can shapeshift and make others shapeshift from a human appearance to like a dog type creature.
Right, yeah. The research we were doing showed they would use different animal skins, to channel that creature, right?
Yeah.
And they would shapeshift into that creature, but mostly like a dog or a wolf, right?
Yeah, typically a dog or a wolf. And there have typically been lots of encounters with wolves throughout the years. Lots of encounters with wolves that would actually allow you to pet them, come up and be friendly, and try to kind of lead you around.
And this is at Skinwalker Ranch, right?
Yeah, this is on the ranch itself and in the surrounding areas.
And that's fucked up, dude. You go to YouTube and many videos that you will see of people claiming to have videotaped this stuff at Skinwalker Ranch. You'll see still photos and some videos of wolves walking upright on like two legs.
Yeah.
And that's pretty fucked up. It freaked me out. I had a couple dreams about it, and I decided I do not like those images.
Yeah, I find it physically, how do you say, attractive. I'm attracted to the thought of a wolf walking on hind legs.
That's fucked up, dude. Okay.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I gotta agree with you to a certain extent. Like, it is kind of fucked up, but there's a whole subset of people who are pretty into the idea.
Well, when you put it in that context, like furries and shit, like that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's not as fucked up as I originally thought. But look these up. See if you guys think it's fucked up. You're gonna see some weird things walking around on this ranch. Some shots of these wolf-like creatures. Some shots of things that just look like legs. Just like imagine like a human body, but the torso is gone, as well as the head and arms. So it's just your waist and then legs, and it's walking across the desert. That's what, some people claim to have caught on film here, along with just your classic lights in the sky, your orbs, quite a few orbs, which I'm really into. You got some really good orb footage and orb shots coming out of the sky around the Skinwalker Ranch area.
So in the 50s, it became kind of a hotbed of activity for UFOs in general, and a lot of these encounters are documented in the 1974 book, The Utah UFO Display, a scientist report by Frank Salisbury and Junior Hicks. And it was an early investigation into Utah UFOs and extraterrestrial activity in general.
Which is just really fucking cool when you think about it, because really, other than this, and I guess, the Mormons, and what like the Utah Jazz, like what there's not much going on in Utah.
No, not at all. There's a big homeless population.
Yeah, there's some homeless people. They've got a decent TGI Fridays, but what the fuck's going on in Utah? This is the coolest fucking thing to go on in Utah. Like I'll admit to you, I didn't even want to go. False had to really kind of talk me into this trip. I was like, aren't there just some paranormal places in Colorado? Where they've got, some of that Rocky Mountain bud. We can go there and just smoke out in the Rockies and look for UFOs, skinwalkers, fucking dogmen, whatever we want to look for up in the mountains. But, why do we have to go to Utah?
Yeah. I heard the trepidation in his voice, but we had to press through to Skinwalker is just an important place. It's
right, and that's what's crazy. Why is this important place, in the middle of fucking Utah?
Yeah.
What is it about this ranch that makes all these paranormal things happen. These possibly, interdimensional things. You can also see some videos on YouTube of some possible portals opening up. Like people say that they're as well, orbs that are popping in and out of portals, orbs of light popping in and out of portals. These what I heard were called glow birds, which are basically just these birds. They look like birds. They have wings. They're flapping, made of pure light and pure energy, flying at night. So imagine you're sitting there at night and you see some orbs of light maybe that you might think are UFOs. That's going to freak you out. But what if you saw a glow in the dark bird?
I would want to jar it. I'd want to jar it and poke some holes in the top and keep it on my bedside table.
Well, that's fucking good instinct right there. And that's what you're getting here at Bridging Realms. That's what you're getting from the Bridging Realms project. We're going to do that research. False isn't going to get scared and freaked out and kill the bird or shoot at it like some people. You see documentaries out there like Killing Bigfoot and things like that, and fucking Bigfoot hunters and out there, they want to find these specimen and fucking kill them and capture them. Yeah. And we want to capture them in a nice way. False went straight to poking holes in the top of the jar. He wants it to have oxygen.
Yeah, I assume it needs oxygen. I'm gonna let it have its oxygen.
Right.
I've never met a flying creature I couldn't jar.
That's true. I'll actually fact check that statement right now. I mean, like, as far as I've known False, he has really been able to jar any flying creature he's come across, including some fairly large birds, and with some jars that I didn't know they made that size.
You should have seen the pelican I got when I went to San Francisco. But anyway, in 1994, the Sherman family purchased the ranch. They moved into the houses, and they noticed something weird. They noticed that there were deadbolts on both sides of the door, inside and outside. So there could be you could be deadbolting something inside, and there were chains that seemed to hold some kind of a large creature inside the house at one time.
The fuck, dude?
Yeah, pretty fucked up. I mean, what kind of beast, like, if we're just speculating here, just pure speculation, what kind of beast do you hold in, let's say a one-story, 2,500 square foot house with deadbolt locks on all the doors and windows, both sides? What kind of creature are you going to keep in there on a chain?
I mean, first thought, because of the name of the ranch, it's a skinwalker.
Yeah, just a straight skinwalker.
They have found a shape-shifting, Native American, like, spirit or entity or human, whatever. Yeah. And it has, changed itself into a beast, and they have chained this beast. So, some sort of wolf creature, wolf man sort of thing.
Yeah. Right?
Second thing my mind goes to, because of the enormous amount of UFO activity, is, a possible extraterrestrial.
Yeah, and just keep him. Maybe he's really strong, so they.
We don't know. Everybody thinks of like tiny, frail grays,
Right.
But there are many species out there, and I think there could be, some big ass species that are probably swole, probably pretty yoked.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
They're coming down just looking like, fucking Dwayne the Rock Johnson, just Dave Bautista fucking looking aliens, like Drax the Destroyer, just coming down and stepping out of a portal and fucking somebody up, and then maybe getting taken down by a tranq dart, or maybe they don't breathe our oxygen properly or something, and end up getting chained up by some stupid ass fucking family.
Yeah, or maybe they see like a cool billboard. Maybe they see like maybe there's a really funny billboard by the house.
Right.
Like it's for a lawyer, and he's like, leaving your family? Call Frank. and that's his billboard, and it doesn't even have a phone number. So the big Drax, the destroyer alien, has came out of the portal, and he's laughing at that hilarious billboard, and then the U.S. government just kind of absorbs him, grabs him, takes him in the house, chains him up, and just they're poking him with prods. They're really fucking with him, and they're like, that billboard, they get your dumbass people every fucking time you step through that portal. Every one of you dumb sons of bitches look up at that billboard and you laugh your fucking head off, you goddamn moron.
The Sherman family was experiencing all kinds of fucked up shit on the ranch. They started experiencing multiple livestock deaths, and not just normal kind of livestock deaths. We're talking cattle mutilation, their fucking cows just getting destroyed. They're finding them ripped open. They're finding them organs ripped out, organs liquefied, missing completely. These cattle are just getting fucked up. And it doesn't look like something your normal predator would do, like a coyote or any kind of scavenger. And it doesn't look like something humans are going to do, because that would be, pretty fucked. And there's no, I guess, evidence of, humans doing these sort of things. So very mysterious. They lost fucking 20% of their cattle.
Holy shit.
It's a lot for people who, rely on fucking cattle, especially when you're going out and you're seeing them mutilated. And, this became a staple. This became a staple of the UFO phenomena. We know it primarily if you're a listener here at Bridging Realms, or if you're a studier of ufology, you know it as a calling card, as a trait of the Greys.
Yeah.
The Greys are constantly fucking mutilating cows. They're constantly touching buttholes. They're obsessed with buttholes. So I wouldn't doubt if part of their cattle mutilation process is probing these things and then sucking out their organs, these missing organs they're talking about, through their butthole.
Yeah, and I don't know that humans have interest in developing this butthole sucking technology for the purpose of disemboweling cows. So I just don't see where we have the interest level that the Greys would have in getting this technology off the ground.
Right, I don't see that either. But they were mutilating the fuck out of some cows that really pissed off the Sherman family. They also had a lot of UFO sightings.
Yeah,
a lot of UFO experiences, including one that they claim they saw a UFO in the sky, the size of 2 football fields.
Yeah, it had lights like stadium lights and aliens that were 7 feet tall.
That's fucking insane. That's that's a vivid UFO description. And to actually see something this large in the sky. And if you've ever been out to the Rockies or Utah, this area, you go out to these ranches, there's not street lights. There's no light. So when it gets dark, it gets fucking dark.
Yeah.
And you see the sky like you've never seen it before. It's actually kind of creepy how much of the sky you can see. And, so for it to be this open and for them to see this massive 2 football field long UFO, with lights like from a stadium, that's pretty wild. And it would be completely visible and vivid out there. And really not be seen by a lot of people.
Yeah, especially considering that the property is 543 acres big.
That's fucking huge, dude.
That's a big mass of land. So
huge.
Something could be swallowed up in the darkness out there easily, and the light could be so focused just directly upon the family themselves.
Oh, yeah, you're not going to see that for miles away. And you don't know what kind of cloaking devices these things have.
Yeah.
A lot of the video we're seeing, though, there are some strange lights out there, whether it be craft or electromagnetic activity or some sort of portals. We don't know. But we know that they saw a massive fucking ship. And that's just one of the most notable ones. Regardless, by 1996, the Sherman family got the fuck out of there. They were like, we can't take this shit anymore. Our cows are dying. There's UFOs everywhere. This ranch is fucked up. We're out. And they bolted, and they sold it to Robert Bigelow.
Yep. Bigelow bought it. He immediately moved NIDS in for research.
And for our listeners who don't know, that is the National Institute for Discovery Science. Robert Bigelow, this dude is an eccentric billionaire, some would say. He made his money with budget hotels. Is that right?
Yeah, Budget Inn and Suites, I believe.
Is that the name of the chain? Budget Inn and Suites?
Yeah.
I believe we've actually stayed at some of them when going to UFO conferences. Quality hotel chain, really.
Yeah.
Mr. Bigelow, if you're listening, we enjoy your hotel chain. We'd enjoy some comps when we're doing these talks at these UFO conferences. It would help us in our work, and we're big fans.
Make it a lot easier to launch a national tour, that's for sure.
Definitely true. So definitely, if any of you listeners want us to come to your area to speak about UFOs, to bridge any of these realms, to talk about any of the subjects we cover, we will do that. You just got to talk to Mr. Bigelow or some of these eccentric billionaires that are studying these stuff. Because apparently, Mr. Robert Bigelow gets around quite a bit. He has, helped fund MUFON at some point to get UFO information from them. He also bought Skinwalker Ranch, the subject of today's episode.
Bigelow spent a lot of money, dropped a lot of money on trying to get some crafts up to space itself while researching Skinwalker Ranch. So he did eventually launch these satellites, these living facilities, the Genesis 1 and the Genesis 2 into space. And this whole time he's funding Skinwalker Ranch. In 2007, ATIP, the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program, was launched with a $22 million budget, and Bigelow got much of that money to continue his research.
Right, and we know ATIP at the time was headed up by Lou Elizondo, who is now teamed with Tom DeLonge at To the Stars. So lots of connections here in the UFO research community. Possibly some connections between To the Stars and UFO research and Robert Bigelow and Skinwalker Ranch.
To deepen the connections even further, to get the Genesis 1 and Genesis 2 into space, Bigelow partnered with SpaceX.
So there's your fucking connection to Elon Musk. So that it's a little insane here how deep some of this stuff with Skinwalker Ranch goes. And, what could be going on there? Does it connect to UFOs? We don't know yet, but we know Robert Bigelow probably does.
Yeah, indeed, Bigelow definitely does. And Bigelow actually ended up selling Skinwalker Ranch to an anonymous benefactor under the single condition that the research continue on Skinwalker unabated.
So it seems like, that research is still continuing. And Robert Bigelow, I'm sure, is still continuing on with his government contracts, doing all kinds of, government research, trying to get stuff into space.
So Bigelow's a very important name to know, not only in relation to Skinwalker, but just in relation to conspiracy, in relation to space travel, in relation to extraterrestrials in general. Bigelow is pulling a lot of the strings here. So the Outer Space Treaty is a basic legal framework of international space law, and it forbids weapons and missiles from being brought into space.
Right.
Bigelow is the sole exception to the Outer Space Treaty. He is actually the only person allowed to bring weapons into space.
That's fucking crazy, dude. Like, how does he get that kind of jurisdiction? How does he get that kind of freedom to do that?
I feel like he has pulled so many strings. I feel like he has so much power. I mean, did the U.S. government sign a sweetheart deal with Budget Inn and Suites? If you're in the military, can you let us know? Are you staying in Budget Inn and Suites an
CIA,
amount
FBI,
of time?
yeah. Are you staying in Budget Inn and Suites? How is he getting these contracts, this inside info? If you look at interviews with him, he definitely seems to know something. He's very coy. He's got a mustache. He acts like he definitely knows something we don't know. He even, has mentioned in the past a possible battle with UFOs and extraterrestrials taking place on Skinwalker Ranch, and several of his men, his security forces, dying at the hands of these extraterrestrials.
Yes, a lot of people think that he is specifically referencing Caleres, Brazil, when he talks about the deaths. He does speak of an attack by extraterrestrials on Caleres, Brazil, with an estimated death toll of 35 people, and some documents relating to it have been declassified. But most people think that he is actually referencing the attack on Skinwalker Ranch itself, and that's what made him sell the property. He just could no longer staff it anymore. Guys, we've seen insider footage of Skinwalker Ranch through the documentary, The Hunt for Skinwalker. There are pens, there are bait pens where they would put cattle to lure those... lure the extraterrestrials to those sweet pieces of cow meat, and they had observation towers.
Right, this stuff is there. I encourage you to watch this. It's a very good documentary we recommend by Jeremy Corbell called The Hunt for Skinwalker. It's a fucking good documentary. He also did the documentary on my man Bob Lazar that was put out recently. It's very fucking good. I believe it's called UFOs and Bob Lazar or some shit like that.
Area 51 and Flying Saucers, the Bob Lazar story, I believe.
Right, yeah. It's a fucking good documentary. Both of them are great. Jeremy Corbell does very good work. Big fans of him here at the Bridging Realms Project. He puts in the research. That's what we like to do. And we're going to be getting more video content. If you like these documentaries, just get fucking ready for what you're going to be getting from the Bridging Realms Project in 2020. We're going to be putting out some good film content for you, showing how we research some of these subjects.
Yeah, for sure. Hard-hitting stuff. Just top-of-the-line, cutting-edge content for you, the listener, and for soon, you, the viewer.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. We're going to get that documentary footage out to you. In the meantime, check out these docs that we are recommending to you. These are what we are using for research here at the Bridging Realms Project. So definitely check out The Hunt for Skinwalker. There's some crazy shit going down on this ranch, even with this new owner who they interview in this documentary, yet do not show his identity.
Yeah, so let's speculate about who that could be. Right off the top of my head, I gotta say, this Bigelow guy, he never works with somebody just once.
Right.
He seems to kind of entwine them within his system. So I got to go with Elon Musk. After the SpaceX launches, I think they work together again. I think Elon sends his satellites up to space with SpaceX, and then kind of to return the favor, he just hands over Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, 100%. I could see that, especially if you watch the documentary. The guy's face is blurred and his voice is altered, but it's clearly a white dude, and he's wearing expensive black jeans and black shirt and like nice gold watch, and it's got an Elon Musk vibe.
Yeah.
The accent could have been altered with the voice alteration. It doesn't exactly sound like his accent, but I could definitely see Elon doing some eccentric shit like this and getting some ranch for some paranormal, research. He seems like the kind of guy that would be interested in that sort of thing. But it also could be an eccentric American billionaire. I wouldn't say that the accent was 100% there, so there could be some American billionaire out there who's, just wanting to know what's going on.
It could even be the old double take, the old switcheroo, and maybe he didn't sell it to anyone at all. He just decided to go incognito, sell it to himself through a shell corporation, and retake ownership in secrecy.
100%. It could easily just still be Bigelow, and he sold it to himself secretly under some sort of alias, or like you said, a shell corporation, and he could still be running it and researching it. I can't think of another, American billionaire that would want to buy this thing for the paranormal research, Bezos, fucking Bezos isn't going to do it.
No, Bezos likes to just kind of lay in that money, wipe his face with it.
Yeah,
wipe his mouth.
Who else? Everybody else, their money's tied up in politics,
Yeah.
Koch brothers, George Soros.
Oprah.
Yeah, they're all tied up in politics, they're not going to be researching this kind of stuff. So I really think it could be Elon Musk, He could be just hanging out there, making babies with his, singer girlfriend.
Yeah.
Checking out these extraterrestrials, maybe having battles with them. Who fucking knows?
Yeah. He might be having skirmishes with them. He could be having hybrid cross-pollination, crossbreed babies.
So whoever's behind this new company that owns Skinwalker Ranch, Adamantium Holdings or whatever it is, they could be doing this kind of shit. Who knows? And hopefully someday they will release this information and fucking let us know what's going on.
That could be happening sooner rather than later, because the History Channel is launching a new series, Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch. It's actually brought to us by the producers of Ancient Aliens and The Curse of Oak Island.
So the fucking Ancient Alien crew is going to Skinwalker Ranch. We'll see how much of this is good information or not. I mean, we do respect those guys. They did kind of burn us with Alien Con, and did not give us press passes or allow us into the building because they know the amount of truth that we expose and the groundswell of listeners and fans that we have is intimidating to them, so they wouldn't let us in. But we'll watch this new show. We support in the conspiracy community here, so we'll watch this new show and see what it's like. See if we get some Giorgio out on the ranch. I'd like to see some Diamond Dave out on the ranch. Diamond David Childress, get him out there exploring it with his archaeological mind. I'd maybe even some John Greenwald Jr. Get the Black Vault out there. Google Earth the Utah Basin,
Show us Diamond Dave chained up in that house with the fucking deadbolts on the doors.
Yeah, let's see
Diamond Dave Doghouse.
Yeah, let's see him trying this stuff out, getting in there. I'd love to see Diamond Dave in there. And hopefully they get out there and encounter some of these wolves or portals or something, and give us some revolutionary shit on this new show. I love it. I love that they've got some new things coming from the Ancient Aliens crew, and they're not just on their same old bullshit.
Wow, that was a really monumentous episode in the history of Bridging Realms.
Really huge episode, really huge subject that we've been researching for a long time, and I've been waiting to cover. We're going to talk about it again, probably, on the pod. I'm sure that in the future we'll be doing some interviews once we can get people to agree to do interviews with us on the pod. We'll hopefully be able to talk to some experts and bring you more information, you the listener, more information about Skinwalker Ranch in the future as it comes out.
Yeah, and I honestly feel like there's untapped gold left in this subject. I feel like there's more we can cover on Bigelow. I feel like there's more we could go into on Adamantium Holdings, just finding out what that is. And hopefully we'll learn more soon. And I think we could go deeper into the Sherman family once again.
Right. And, if again, listeners, if you are someone from the Sherman family or Robert Bigelow or any of his companies, Bigelow Aerospace, or anyone from Adamantium Holdings, especially Adamantium Holdings, the current owners of Skinwalker Ranch, if you hear this podcast or you happen to be fans of Bridging Realms or the work that Dr. Gene Carlisle and False Freedom 691 do at the Bridging Realms Project, contact us,
Yeah.
Give us that contract to research on your land. We would love to be able to get out there with some cameras and film some of this documentary research that we're going to be getting out to you in 2020. We want the listener to hear this. We want our future Patreon subscribers to get some of this content because I think we can do some groundbreaking research if we're allowed to step foot on the ranch.
Yeah, 100% we can, and all we need is a little bit of that green stuff, and our contact information. It's all in the podcast description. Contact us.
Yeah, hit us up, Robert Bigelow. We dig your fucking mustache. We dig your cool hair, and we dig the coyness that you present to the reporters who ask you questions, especially like Jesse Ventura and his shithead son.
You bodied the body.
He bodied the body, dude. He outminded the mind, is what he did. He outbodied the body, outminded the mind. Watch those clips with Jesse Ventura. Robert Bigelow's a master. We do bow to you, sir. We would love to get on that ranch. So hit us up, or Elon Musk. Elon Musk, we would love to smoke a blunt with you. We would have you on the pod, or we'd love to just go out to the ranch. Go out to the Skinwalker Ranch. Smoke a blunt. Check out some UFOs or some interdimensional beings. Ride around on one of those off-road golf carts.
Or a Cybertruck. You have Cybertrucks out there now?
Yes, or one of maybe like a cyber electric off-road golf cart.
Yeah, beautiful.
Either way, we'd love to get on Skinwalker Ranch in some of those off-road golf carts and drive around and check shit out and get some Steadicam and some drone footage and just really get in there and do that research. So hit us up if you listen to the pod. And to our listeners, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed all the information that we got out there, all the truth we exposed about Skinwalker Ranch, and hope you're excited for the truth we're going to expose on future episodes here on Bridging Realms.
Bridging Realms is a part of the Bridging Realms Network in association with the Bridging Realms Project, with additional support provided by Realmies like you.